The government is facing mounting pressure to stabilize public finances amid a sluggish economy and increasing debt levels. With corporate and personal tax collections under strain, a VAT hike is being floated as a potential solution.
There's already been an increase in taxes over the last few years. In 2017, there was an increase in the dividend tax rate. We had the carbon tax in 2019. In 2018, we had the initial VAT increase after many years. We've just had a global minimum tax being introduced, so we're already seriously taxed. According to the World Bank, we are on like the 13th most highest taxed countries.
This budget contains tax measures that will...
Finance Minister Enoch Godogwana, who has so far resisted tax hikes, has hinted that an increase in taxes might be necessary to fill the gap. Some have warned that taxing the rich may see a spike in emigration. Meanwhile, opposition parties and labor unions say any rise in VAT would hit low-income earners.
I've spoken to you about, the shocks that are going to happen, for example, in the commodities prices, the exports of commodities, and therefore the revenue. You know that mining and commodities are a very important part of revenue collection in South Africa. And that's something that he's got to be very worried about in this environment. Then we've got these new budget constraints that have been released upon us, or budget demands.
Adding to the government's financial strain, an executive order from U.S. President Donald Trump has cut key funding for South Africa's HIV and AIDS programs, leaving a major hole in the health budget. Public sector wages are set to increase and will also add to the budget deficit. South Africa's debt is currently sitting at 75% of GDP.
If we think about a 40 billion rand shortage and we add another 10 billion maybe, given that obviously costs are higher, and it has impacts on jobs.
Higher spending on infrastructure, we certainly need it. Lower spending on salaries and wages. We're borrowing to spend on what they call current operational expenditure. So we're not investing in the future, we're investing in now. We've got all these public sector wage increases that keep on coming, and that sucks up a lot of the budget.
Raising taxes will help to plug the shortfall in revenues. Each percentage point added to value-added tax will roughly bring in $1.4 billion annually. But South Africans are already stretched. The finance minister is likely to table his budget amid mass protests. Sumitra Nadu, CGTN, Cape Town.